Brodes Media.
Come on, baby. 8-2. What a world. Here's reality of who the Philadelphia Eagles are. Okay? We are deep enough into the season to have some knowledge on what this squad is all about. This is how I would define them. They are a football team that makes me pissed for 85% of the game. And then they win. I mean, they have a closer. SAQUON Barkley is what the Yankees had in their damn prime. He closes out games. And that's a major difference maker from, let's say, last year's team that won in ways that confused you and reality hit. I don't see this team having a similar finish because SAQUON will not be denied. You make a crucial mistake, Dan Quinn. You make an idiotic decision, Dan Quinn. It'll be 7 the other way. You can do everything right defensively. Put the ball in Saquon's hands. Have 4 guys ready to pursue a tackle. I promise you, it's a gain of 20-5 with 3 spinoramas, and he's putting his ass in your face. You can't stop him. He's a machine. He's a closer. And you saw what happens when you make an egregious decision against the Eagles. And the flip side was the Eagles made a billion mistakes in the first half. The Commanders didn't do enough about it. Now, credit Vic Fangio, because that quarterback, he looked like a rookie. Quinion made Terry McLaurin look like a nobody. Ironically enough, the only time McLaurin's name mattered was during the drive of the stupid Dan Quinn decision. Because they were getting pretty significant gains. Bates with 2 catches. Ertz with the big catch. McLaurin when it was Cooper DeJean on him. Not Q. And Jalen Carter decided, yeah, I'm about to do this again. 2nd and inches, nothing. 3rd and 1, stuffed. The Eagles had no kicking game. No kicking game that you could really rely on. You have a chance on a short week on the road to potentially go up 13-12 with your young quarterback in an NFC East race. And the 4th down call, after the way 2nd and 3rd went, constantly losing yards. Zach Bond all over the place. He had a wicked pass breakup early on. He's getting a big stop. 4th down, the bobble from the snap. I mean, and the Eagles make it hurt. Let me go through the laundry list and the long grocery list of what the Eagles did pathetically that the Commanders didn't do enough about. How about Devontae Smith with a drop? We never see that toe tapping by the sidelines. Egregious. Jahan Dotson on a 3rd down. Got to make the play. We could yell about why didn't you look at AJ? Why didn't you look at anyone else? Jahan Dotson, open enough, make the damn catch. He dropped it. Jalen Hurts, look, he played so poorly that when we found out he was in the blue tent and there was potentially a concussion going on, we all went, oh, that makes sense. Think about that. That's how bad the QB was playing out there. We thought there was a chance that his brain wasn't working, so he wasn't sharp. Now, to be fair, This team in crunch time, they know how to win. And he used his legs on a big third down, and he's stretching his arms out and reaching out to get a first, which is a big deal. He hit Dallas Goedert before the fumble, and Grant Calcaterra, my God, I love you! I love you! What a play to jump on that football. That saved the game, but they make plays. That's what they do. They make plays in crunch time. And the Commanders couldn't get to that ball first. But I'm not done with that first half stuff. Hurts misses AJ and Devontae wide open. This isn't being talked about. Not the missed field goals are for sure. The trick play that was so quickly developing, there was no time for the Commanders to even react to anything. They were tossing it backwards, a big loss of like 12, 13, 14 yards, and bang, bang, bang. It happened so quick, you couldn't even allow for it to develop. You finally get a possession that starts in positive yardage, and then you're already behind the 50. Because of that, you're scratching your head going, what's going on? But at the end of the first half, if it wasn't for a drop pass by Washington, they'd probably punch us below the belt with at least a field goal attempt because Nick Sirianni was calling his timeouts wrong. That gets lost in the sauce. But with all that being true, the moment intensifies and gets harsh when you're facing the Eagles in their building, when you're both good teams and the NFC East is on the line. One team looked like they were led by a poor coach in Dan Quinn and a quarterback that looked overwhelmed. Whether it's ribs, whether it's, they talked about the hand, right? Wasn't there a gash on his hand that they were sewing up or putting some sort of glue on or whatever it is? But, he was banged up for sure. You could see him grimacing, making some of those throws, or whenever he took off, he got hit pretty hard. You could tell that his face was kind of reacting to it as if this isn't great feeling. The Eagles found a way to get this thing done. And that's who they are. I asked this question to all of you online afterwards. Are you concerned about their struggles? Yes. Option 1. Option 2. No, they just win. And no, they just win had about 68% of the votes at the time of this show recording. So it probably fell around what I expected it to be. I lean towards saying no, and here's why. I already touched on what the addition of SAQUON Barkley really means to your team and that element you did not have last season to help you when things can get ugly. It's like, hand the ball off, he's going to work, you will not be denied. There's a reason why I put a monster emphasis on that throughout pretty much every preview show I do. It's SAQUON doesn't let you lose. Cam Jurgens is putting people in the dirt twice on the same damn run play. These holes that were being created because your offensive line started to wear them down over 3.5 quarters. It is a monsoon. It's so aggressive. But the reason why I say it leans no for me more than yes, which is probably a crazy answer if you've been listening to how I talked about this team heading up to this point. I just watched Jared Goff throw 3,000 interceptions. I just watched one of the better teams in the NFC, the Commanders, have their coach make one of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen. Sure, the Eagles can lose because X, Y, and Z against other NFC teams, but these other NFC teams are no locks either. If you throw 5 picks against the Birds with this defense, with Vic Fangio and Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith stepping up, and with the way Q is shutting down your number 1 stars, see what I'm saying here? So it's not strictly the Eagles. Part of it is. And part of it is the addition of 2-6. But also, a lot of it is studying what else is out there right now in the NFC. And it makes me feel confident about this team more. And I labeled this a season definer. Second half against Cincinnati was the season changer. That changed the momentum. This game was a season definer. It will tell me a lot about their makeup, and it will add so much more to the wins that we saw against Cleveland, the wins that we saw against the Giants, against Jacksonville, against Dallas. This gives it so much more pop. And while it didn't look like it was going to really tickle my undercarriage through 2.5 quarters, by the end of it, it did. The momentum swung so much in our favor, we watched them overpower a Commanders team where the game just like it slipped away from them so much because of the pressure, because of the ability to wreck games.